Well, I knew I'd be right about the Rams winning last night, but I didn't think it'd be, 24-3. Uh, yeah. So let's talk about my low, my high, my act of kindness. It's funny because, and this is because for a good while, I mean, I was seeing my folks, but not to the extent I've been doing the last several days. Like, it just felt so off not being with them last night. Because, I mean, I'd seen them on Tuesday and Wednesday. My mother worked yesterday, so it only made sense that, we don't get together because, my mom was working. So, it felt off not being with them last night. And it got to the point where I'm thinking, man, I really do miss my folks. Which, don't get me wrong, in a way I always do. I mean, the fact that, let's be honest, I'm pretty sure no matter how we all feel about our parents, to some extent, we do miss them, we do think about them. That's just something that I guess are sort of wired to do, I guess. I mean, I guess that's sort of one of the main things about free forward thinking that we're allowed to do. Anyway, so yeah, basically my low is I just simply wasn't able to be with my folks last night. Well, here's the thing. I probably could have been with my father because he actually didn't have anything going on. My father is actually a pretty, not important figure, but definitely a very well-known figure in the city of Corning. Because, and I've said this before, he not only works on, as the treasurer of the local Catholic church, because, again, my family's Catholic, but he also works in organizations like, BNI, Habitat for Humanity, stuff like that. So he's a pretty busy and, again, relatively, big figure in the area. And last night, because usually on Thursdays, he does stuff. I think he goes to the local American Legion and just hangs out and talks to people. He doesn't really drink or anything because, he has to drive home. I don't think he can drink even if he wanted to. So basically he just hangs out there for a while and gets back to my parents' home whenever. It's not super late, by the way. Maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock is when he gets home, I guess. But last night he didn't do that. And had I known, I would have hung out with him. So just a simple matter of, next time you need, better communication on that front. But, it was, in a way, it also is sort of the best that I don't see my folks every single day. Just because, as far as I know, hold on. That's me knocking on wood right there. I'm pretty sure they're not going anywhere. But, he's got to sort of worry a little bit. That's why, again, my low yesterday was, not being with my folks. My high, on the other hand, came in the form of several things. Well, for starters, to remedy the low, last night before I went to bed, I talked to my mother. And it was nice. I'm going to be seeing my folks this evening. So we're kind of going over what the plan is in case, we want to go there. Because, and I've said this before, my family is part of the Corning Country Club. And every month they have to pay some sort of membership fee. And you have to pay no matter what. But usually, for whatever reason, even though they have to pay it, they'd rather go to the club for dinner on top of that. Well, here's the thing. For years and years and years, even now actually, yes, even during the pandemic, the tradition of us going to the country club was always on like Fridays. I don't know, it felt right to do that, you know? Like, you go to dinner on a Friday, Saturday, technically you could be up later if you wanted to. Saturday, because, Saturday's a pretty restful, slow, relaxing day. Kick your weekend off right by, going to the country club. And if we actually wanted to go on a Friday today, which reminds me, happy Friday, everyone, would be the last day to do it. Because next Friday, I know for a fact my mother is working. See, she'll be off tonight, but she'll be working the entirety of this upcoming weekend. But next week, it'll be the reverse. She'll be working next Friday and, working and then off, that weekend. So next weekend, I mean. So, it alternates. So next week, my mother is working. So even if we want to go, just be my father and myself. And you're probably thinking, what about the Friday after? The Friday after that's Christmas. And on top of that, believe it or not, December 25th, which is Christmas Day, is going to be the final Friday of 2020. Yeah. I actually was just thinking about that yesterday. But yeah, the final Friday of 2020 is going to be Christmas Day. All right, so, I guess if you wanted, considering the year that we've all had, and, at this point, everyone started counting down to when this year is over so we can get to 2021 and move on. I'm positive that, every single last potential day of this year is going to be the last of something. So honestly, for a final Friday of a year like 2020 being Christmas Day, it's probably about the best sort of scenario you could get. Heck, the final Monday of 2020 is going to be my birthday. So, yeah. But regardless of the day of the week, 2020 is winding down. It's December 11th today. So, just under 3 weeks from now. And, we'll be able to finish out the rest of the year with a little bit of grace, make sure that, everyone's staying safe and everything. And pretty sure we can get on with the rest of at least today. Anyway, good morning and happy Friday, everyone. I just said that right. Oh, right, forgot my act of kindness. Let's see. What was my act of kindness? I guess my act of kindness was, I helped people throughout the course of the day. Like, someone asked for, directions where to go, so I helped them with that. That was really nice. I also did a little errand for my grandmother, which, was fine. And the good news is that errand involved me going to 7-Eleven afterwards. So, I need to get points on my 7-Eleven app. So that's really cool. So now, good morning and happy Friday, everyone. So, in terms of stuff that happened yesterday for me, the two things I really want to go over were, first, Totally Not Mark did the rest of the One Piece films, which, okay, cool. He finished doing Strong World, which he actually seemed to like the best. Here's the thing, at least for me, Strong World, Film, Zed, and Gold of, the four he talked about, because he also talked about Stampede. Well, actually, Stampede's pretty good, but I'll just explain my thoughts momentarily. Actually, here's the thing. They're called modern One Piece films because since 2010, was it 2010 or 2009? Maybe it was 2010. Since 2010, Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, actually had a really strong saying in writing when it came to those four movies. So his influence is, heavily there. That's why they're called the modern One Piece films. And I saw Strong World first in Japanese way back in 2010. Yeah, 2010. And then I saw it in English when it was finally dubbed in 2012. Loved it. I saw film Zed. Also loved that. There's a fantastic villain. Film Gold, I watched bits and pieces of, but let's be honest, the final fight is the best part of the movie. And Stampede, I'm going to level with you folks. One Piece Stampede is one gigantic action spectacle in the best possible way. Like, because here's the thing. Stampede came out to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the anime premiering. Yeah, it's been 20 years, and the anime is still going. And so, whenever you would see a character in that movie, it really wasn't because they had anything fleshed out, anything great to say. It was like, hey, a reference. So, yeah. All four of these movies I recommend you give a watch, by the way. You know, they're fun. The animation is absolutely gorgeous. The action scenes, you know, they certainly leave nothing to be desired because they're all that good. And I don't know what else to say without giving away too much. You know, go watch those 4 One Piece movies. In case you need to recap, Strong World, Zed, Gold, Stampede. Those are the 4 modern One Piece films that you should watch. Okay, now let's talk about yesterday's Hot Ones episode. It wasn't a Hot Ones episode. It was a Q&A. And during the Q&A, you know, several questions, you know, came up. Like, one question was, like, who had the best, like, because here's the way this show was formatted because of, you know, world events. Like, you had to do it by, like, Zoom, remote, whatever. And one question that was asked was, like, who had, like, the best, you know, house setup? The best one, at least in terms of, because here's the thing, you could really break down, like, the One Piece guests of this past season into 2 categories. Those who legitimately kept it straight up. Like, if Sean Evans was interviewing me for Hot Ones, what you see behind you is the exact setup I would, for the most part, have. You know, probably the camera would be a little farther away so you could view the hot sauce bottles and the wings in front of me. But yeah, that's essentially that. That's what it is. And the other, and this is actually something I don't think I really touched upon whenever I talked about Hot Ones this past season. A lot of guests really tried to recreate what the studio itself would look like had the interview taken, you know, with Sean Evans and that guest being like, you know, yay apart from each other. So, in terms of the former, The Undertaker had the best setup. Although Matthew McConaughey's was probably a close second, just simply because, like, because once you see this thing, you can't unsee it. Now I can never unsee it myself. Watch the Matthew McConaughey episode of Hot Ones. He actually has, like, a koi pond with a koi fish swimming in the background, and it's just, like, going around and around and around. Seriously, like, once I saw it, I'm like, huh. I guess that really was happening, wasn't it? Neat. So, yeah, I'm going to have to watch that episode again just to see if I can really not unsee it. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then there's, like, another question that really got me. I mean, there were several questions, but this one really got me. And the way it was written and the way it was asked was actually quite entertaining for me. Here's what the question said. It was akin to, I bet no one's going to ask this. How are you doing? It completely took Sean Evans by surprise. Here's why. Because it's pretty obvious. You know, Sean Evans always comes across as like this really cool, really, you know, pretty nice guy. But never do we think to ask the real, deep, important questions in life. Like, again, how are you? Basically, the question was asking how Sean was doing, how he was feeling. And, Sean was pretty straightforward in his answer, He's doing fine, considering... Oh, Peter went dark for a second. He's doing fine. Really, let's be honest, I'm pretty sure we could all complain about 2020, but outside of that, no complaints anywhere else. And it really got me because we never really think to ask that question. So, to any and all fans of Hot Ones who are watching this, I think we should make it a tradition where during the Q&A, someone, it could be, I'm going to try doing it myself actually, I'm going to simply ask Sean Evans how he's doing. That's something we should all ask each other. Because you never know what we're feeling on the inside. And considering the video I'm going to be doing in a couple of days, it's very apropos I bring this up now. But I'll get into why in a couple of days. Like, favorite, share, hit the subscribe button, follow me on social platforms, share vacation YouTube. I'm very humbled to make this video for all of you guys who watch and enjoy today. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, you guys, my Target channel is going to be here to London here. And I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.